So Uber, the ride-sharing company, not the taxi company, ride-sharing company or ride-sharing platform. How does Uber make money and what do they need to make money? The biggest asset Uber has is their technology platform, and it's an intangible asset. And what that allows them to do is to connect the user with the driver. And if the driver goes and picks up a user, charges them $100 what Uber simply does is they take a portion of that. They take, let's say, $25 of the entire $100 fee. They need critical mass in terms of participating drivers. One of the demands users of Uber have is that if they order an Uber, they want it there within a relatively short period of time. If they have to wait 20 minutes or 30 minutes, it's simply not going to work. So Uber needs a critical mass of drivers in order to make sure that they can arrive within a short period of time. Accurate and current GPS mapping. The platform that they use, Uber, is highly reliant on GPS mapping and mapping based on the cell phone network. So if GPS wasn't there, Uber would not be able to function or operate. A big part of the business model for Uber is big data analytics on usage. So try catching an Uber just after New Year's celebrations or during any peak time. What they do is they use something called surge pricing, where during peak times they charge a lot more money than during other normal times where there isn't high demand for the particular service. They do very little investment in physical infrastructure. So Uber doesn't own any vehicles. All those drivers who use the platform have to buy the vehicles themselves. So from their perspective, it limits the amount of capital that's tied up in fixed assets. They've also got some regulatory considerations they need to contend with. They don't call themselves a taxi service. They say they are a ride-sharing platform. Why? By being a ride-sharing platform, they can circumvent and avoid a lot of the regulations that are applicable to traditional taxis. Now, affordability and accessibility is key. We are using a lot of Uber today because they're much cheaper than the traditional taxis. Smartphone penetration is a big consideration for Uber. If someone doesn't have a smartphone, they can't use Uber. So smartphone penetration is big. And also the banking infrastructure. A big benefit of Uber is they automatically take the money out of your credit or your debit card. So in markets where the banking infrastructure is not as developed, it becomes more difficult to operate. Yes, they do offer paying by cash, but that makes their business a lot more complicated. So when you look at Uber, you have to look at it holistically, at the entire business model. Ironically, it's still making significant losses if you take a look at the international operations. But they're hoping to reach a stage where they're going to go over the hump and start generating profits.